Chapter 1. Just a friend, right? Moving to a new city felt like diving into a pool without knowing how deep it was. Everything was unfamiliar: streets, faces, even the silence in my apartment. That's why I was so grateful when I found him. My coworker. My first real friend here. We started with simple lunches, exchanged memes throughout the day, and took coffee breaks that stretched into conversations. He'd invite me to hang out with his friends. Movies, concerts. It was never anything more than friendly, or so I thought. No flirting. No touching. Just a calming presence in a world that felt chaotic. Even when we started watching White Lotus together in my apartment, I chalked it up to shared interests. He was thoughtful in ways I didn't expect. Staying behind to help me with work when everyone else went out for drinks. Listening patiently when I broke down about leaving my family. I told him about my guilt, how I missed my little sister's milestones and worried I was missing too much. He never judged. Just listened. It wasn't until he lingered late one night after helping me set up a conference room that something changed. I turned to him and asked, "Why are you doing this?" "You don't have to." And then he said it. "When you like someone, you do things for them." And just like that, the air in the room changed. But I didn't know how to breathe in it yet. Chapter 2. I said no. Then everything changed. I remember blinking, stunned. Like my brain had skipped a beat. "Wait, what do you mean?" I asked. He smiled, sheepish, like a confession slipping through his teeth. "I've had feelings for you since I first saw you." Felt like a trick. A glitch in the system. He'd never acted like it, never hinted. My heart was hammering, but not in a romantic way. It was anxiety, panic, fear. I didn't know what to say. I asked, "Then why didn't you just tell me?" And he said he wanted to get to know me first. Then he asked the question that scared me more than anything. "Would you want to go on a real date?" I froze. My fear of commitment wrapped itself around me like ice. I said no. I didn't think. I just reacted. "I don't think that's a good idea." His face changed. He didn't argue. He just shut down. Silence filled the space that used to be light between us. We left without another word. And the next 2 days were a different kind of silence. No texts. No smiles across the room. At lunch he was nowhere. When I finally found him and tried to ask about the date, he looked right through me. "Never mind. Don't worry about it," he said. Then he walked away. And it felt like he took something with him. Chapter 3. I didn't see it until he was gone. The weight of silence is heavier when you're used to someone's presence. I realized how often I looked for him in the crowd, how much I missed the sound of his laugh, how his absence made my days longer and colder. I thought about every moment we'd shared, every ride to the movies, every video we'd sent, every time he chose to be with me instead of everyone else. He wasn't just a friend. He'd been showing me in every quiet gesture that he cared. And I, too scared, too guarded, had shut the door before I even looked inside. But when I looked closer, I saw it. He was exactly what I always said I wanted. Steady, gentle, patient. The kind of love that doesn't raise its voice but stays. And somehow I'd pushed it away. I didn't just regret turning him down. I regretted not seeing him sooner. That's when I knew I had to try, one last time, to fix it. Even if it meant putting my heart on the line. Chapter 4. Wingstop and a confession. I showed up at his door with his favorite Wingstop. My hands trembled as I knocked. When he opened the door, his expression was a mix of shock and guarded curiosity. "Can I come in?" I asked. After a pause, he stepped aside. I sat on his couch and laid it all out. How I'd been overwhelmed. How fear had clouded my reaction. I told him I was scared of anchoring myself to someone in a city that still didn't feel like home. Scared of losing him as my friend. Scared that he'd regret choosing me if I said yes. "But now," I said, looking right at him, "now that I've had time to really think, I want this. I want you." I just didn't realize how much. He was quiet for a long time. Then softly he said, "I was disappointed. I needed space. But I was going to talk to you again. Because I still cared, even if it was just as friends." Hearing that felt like the first real breath I'd taken in days. And when I leaned in, he didn't pull away. That kiss told me everything I needed to know. Chapter 5. We're doing this, for real. We didn't jump into anything. We sat down and really talked, about what we wanted, what scared us, what we hoped for. And for the first time, I saw the road ahead not as a trap, but a possibility. He's still the same guy, soft-spoken, thoughtful, quietly funny. But now, I see every small act for what it was. Love. Quiet, intentional love. I'm planning a real date now, his favorite food, his favorite band, a playlist we used to send each other songs on. I know I don't have to win him over. But I want to. Because I let fear speak first and now I want love to have its turn. And yes, I'm still scared. But this time I'm not letting fear steer. Because love showed up at my door once, and this time I'm ready to open it and step all the way in.